So I wanted to make this video while I'm still up because I'm kind of tired right now. But as you can see from the title, yeah. So I failed my first driving test, and which was today or whatever. This is from my point of view, how everything happened. So, this lady, she had the illest attitude. She's like a heavy-set woman. She got into the car and, hit herself, right? So she was kind of angry at that and dropped her pen on the floor of the car. So I'm like, she's like, oh man, I dropped something. I'm like, well, you dropped your pen right there. So she gets out the car and then gets back in to pick up her pen while she's getting in. So I'm like, okay. So the first thing she says is, you're gonna want to drive into the next lane. So I'm driving cautiously because I look for cars, and I put my signal on and I drove in. Well, I didn't even drive yet. I was gonna go forward and into it. She said, no, I just want you to go into it. So I'm looking at her like, that's not even safe. That's not even safe to just drive into the lane. You have to look and you have to gradually get yourself in there. You don't just room right into the lane. And plus, there's no car coming, so there's not a rush. So I'm driving up the hill, right? She's like, pick it up, the speed. So I'm like, okay. So I pick up the speed. I'm like 25, and she's like, slow down, slow down. Now I'm at 20. So we get to the first red light, and she says, oh, we're gonna make a right turn here. You couldn't tell me that before I got to the red. I was like, okay. I made my right turn. It was good. I had my signals on, right? She didn't hear the click of my signal, but I put my signal on. She's gonna tell me, oh, next time you should have your signal on, but keep going. Then we're going, and then she's like, we're gonna make a left turn at Rugby. I'm like, what? She's like at that corner, so I'm like, okay, I want to make a left turn. There's a car coming, so I'm like, all right, let me hold here, and now let me make my left turn. It was kind of a little slower, right? And I started to speed up, and I slowly got to 15. But while we're driving, she says, can you drive normal? And I'm looking at her like, normal? She's like an average person. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? And she's like, 20 miles per hour. I'm like, you could have just said that. You didn't have to say, could you drive normal, with an attitude. So I'm just like, this white bitch right here is telling me to. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, you're in power, and I'm just gonna take this, because this is part one. That's strike one. So she's like, alright, I want you to do a K-turn, a broken U-turn. So I do the broken U-turn, and in my opinion, that my broken U-turn was on point. It was perfect, because how I did it, first I veered over, I was parallel to the sidewalk, and then I drove in. It was all perfect, the signals was on. She's gonna tell me that I didn't have the signal in the right direction. I'm going the right way. How could So I was like, you know what? Okay, that's totally fine. So I go, and then she's like, can you make a left turn here? I make the left turn, and it's a little slower because it's like a rocky road, and there was a pothole, so I didn't want to just do into it. So I'm just sitting there like, okay, she's like, pick up your speed. She's getting angry in that passenger. I won't rear the car over the cliff and jump out. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just keep going, Uncle Rosa. And she's like, double park right here. She didn't say double park. She said, pull up to the black car and do parallel park. So I pull up to the black car. She's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, what? I'm aligning my side view mirror with the other side view mirror. Can you shut up and let me fucking do it? So I'm backing up, I'm like, okay, it's a little wide, and there's no sidewalk, so you don't know when you're on the sidewalk. So I stop, I go up a little bit more, and then I back up, and then my parallel parking, I was good centered. Oh, before that, this bitch forgot to scan that little inspector shit on the window, so she made me stop during my parallel parking to scan the shit on the window. You fucking dumb ass. You could not be so fucking stupid. You supposed to do that beforehand. You messed up my fucking concentration. Your fat ass gotta get out the fucking car and squeeze through another car just to see the. I was so done. I parallel park. I was like, oh my god, this parallel park is good. Once I finally put the car in park, she's like, oh, drive out. Bitch! Really? You not even gonna measure? I was like, fuck it. Because you didn't. So I go to veer out. I see a car coming, so I want to stop. Oh. I forgot to mention, while I'm parallel parking, there's a car coming, so I start stop. She's gonna tell me to keep parallel parking. The cars won't affect you, because, bitch, I'm not even in the space. I was just like, okay. I can't. Keep composure. Keep composure. Don't. Because we're on a cliff. I will drive this shit off and just jump out. But I'm like, alright, keep my composure. So I go out, and she's like, okay, you're gonna go straight from here. So when I go rev up a little to go straight, she's like, oh my god, and I'm startled because what the fuck is you saying oh my god for? And so I brake the car. She's like, see, you almost hit her. She almost went into the other curve. I'm looking at her like, bitch, don't make fucking outbreaks. What the fuck is wrong with you? Then the cops are like coming by or whatever. So the cops are passing by. She says that I'm road test, like, and he's like, okay, so the black house now smiling. She's like, see, if I wasn't in the car, you could have got a ticket for that. You lucky you taking it. I'm like, who the fuck is you talking to? Yo, I want all my outbursts are in my head. I'm just sitting there like, oh God, please. So I'm like, I already know I failed because this bitch done yelled at me too many times. So I'm like, alright. So we're getting to like a steep turn. I'm going down. She's like, make a right here. At the corner, you gonna tell me to make a right? It's a stop sign. I stop at the stop sign. She's like, you have to stop before the stop sign. I'm like, okay. This yelling that this bitch is doing? Make one jab to, one jab to that side. One jab. But I'm like, okay. So I go to turn, and it's like very narrow. Because I've never driven in Westchester before. I've driven around Brooklyn. So I'm turning. I'm like, okay. She's like, you need to pick up the speed. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Are you driving? Are you in risk of getting another car hit, bitch? Like, oh my God. So I'm going up this hill. I'm going up there. She's like, faster. I'm like, what the fuck? Bitch, say speed up, not faster. I'm not a fucking dog. I was just like, you know what? Okay. So she's like, okay, we're going to make a left at this next turn. I go. And I go to make the turn. And then I'm finally in turn. Then while I'm already going down the hill, she's going to say, slower, and you need to be on your right side. I thought we were going. So I'm like, alright. I put my foot on the brake, and I slowly move over. I forgot to put the signal on because she's blabbing about something else. So I'm like, alright, you got it, but let me put my signal on. So I drive, slowly going back down the hill, and I stop. And she says, okay, just put the car right over here. And so I put the car right over here, and I turn the car off and put it in the thing. And then she's like, put the hazard lights on. I put the hazard lights on. And she prints out this little receipt, and she's like, well, obviously you know you failed. Bitch, obviously? This tone, in my mind, I'm like, this fucking tone, bitch, I'm obviously my foot up your ass. So in my head, I'm just going through these outbursts. I'm just like, okay, I'm just acting like the little black kid that's miseducated. So she prints out this little ticket, she's like, obviously you failed, like, you need more practice. I'm like, okay, with this tone, please get out of my car. I don't even say please, I'm just like, okay. She's like, yep, her fat ass struggling to get out the car, getting fucking stuck in the seatbelt. Mind you, at one point, she tried to have me park, and the fucking seatbelt is fucking latched in the door outside, like, bitch, look at you. Look, I'm about to drive and the car can get caught on something, and then like it's like one of those. It's like when your pants, the little loop gets stuck in the little door thing, and you're like, oh, something could happen to. I'm just like, okay, and so she gives me a little receipt, and I will now read it to you. If applicable, specific times marked below. Leaving curb, uses mirror only, fails to check blind spot 5. Parking, backing, and U-turn. Fails to signal 5. Fails to adequately observe / caution 10. Unable to park properly 15. Driving in traffic. Fails to keep right 10. Improper lane or traffic 10. Driving in traffic. When changing lanes. Fails observe 10. Vehicle control. Poor steering control. Turning 15. Maneuvers 15. Accident none. Dangerous actions. Fail to observe. Lost control of vehicle. I lost control of vehicle when you yelled, oh my god. I paid it. And she got out the car, and then my dad comes, and he's on the phone. He's just telling her, like, yeah, he failed. Like, I'm just like, I'm just like, all right, just stop talking about it. Don't, like, you cannot make a dark soul. Like, my soul at that point in time was like a black flower, a black fucking rose, and like, I'm just like, don't joke with me. Just if you want to be on the phone telling people I failed, just fuck it. Can you just not treat it like 9/11 or the Holocaust? Just be like, once that event happened, you take some time to just, like, be silent about it. You internalize what just happened, and then, like, and everything great that happened in history. You, like, the day after, you didn't just blat and talk about it. There are still feelings going on. You just waited. So in that moment, I felt something just happened in my life, and I just need you to shut the fuck up and let me feel with it. So I'm just like, okay. Okay, and he wants to talk about, like, oh, I failed my... He's like, hey, your brother, he failed the 3 times. I'm like, I know. Either I'm going to be an older sister where I pass immediately, or I'm going to be an older brother where I failed a few times. He's like, well, I failed my first time because the guy had an attitude and my seatbelt didn't click. I'm like, okay, well, can we just not talk about it? On the phone with everybody, well, why'd you fail? Can we just not talk about it? Y'all were not in the car. Like, y'all know me. I make videos. I will make a video soon. Like... I'm just sitting there like, and it's just like, the crazy part is, then my dad gonna tell me, oh, you need more practice driving on the street, just like driving, no more lessons. I'm like, I had one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best driving instructors in the world, taught me the formulas and how to do everything, and I'm just like, I felt like I did such a good job when doing the driving and things like that. The only difference is, it was a different car. I'm like, my professor, the last one was like, he taught me so well, and for me to just fail, it's not even on him, it's just, and I would say it's on me, even though I even feel it's on that bitch, because she had an attitude, treating me like I'm a fucking minority, which of course I am, so just treat me like it, just coming with the attitude, you're the fucking obese one, I'm just a skinny cute one in the car, and okay, I wish I had the black man that was giving the things, but no, okay, little Sally over there got the black instructor, like, Christopher over here, yes, Christopher, the black guy with the white name, gets, I don't even remember her name. Her breath stink. Her teeth was, like, uneven, but I'm just like, I paid it. I paid it. Now I gotta try again. But, yeah, just a word of advice. When you do your driving, it's like, have all your emotions go through here, not through here. Just do everything, and if you fail, it's okay. It's okay. In New York City, that's why you have the subway. That's why it's okay. Yeah.